first, we're going to introduce our comics for the evening. They'll be coming out in a second, but look at them right there, both sick, in bed. Let's give a big round of applause and welcome to the stage, Drew Platt and Mark Smalls, everybody. Come on down. You are, buddy. Look at these guys here. You got mics down there. Hopefully those mics work.
Check
hey,
one.
everybody.
Oh,
1, 2. Is it working? All right.
Welcome to the stage, Dr. Joon Yoo.
Yeah, Joon.
Joon Yoo, right there. Yeah, there
there he is.
Woo!
Okay, I'll take it.
Well, that's a much better intro than being called an aging scientist, so thank you.
All right, so this is extremely interesting stuff. How about, Joon, why don't you tell them about it?
Okay, so we're going to go through 10 questions. I think that's the format for tonight. And I'm going to go from easiest to hard. So this is the easiest question. I just want to start with something that we can all warm up to. And this is not a trick question. I'm going to ask you guys to count the number of times the letter F appears in this single sentence. Okay, I think you guys have had enough time. Okay. All right, so how many people saw all three? Most of you. Anybody see 4? Some of you. Anybody see 5? Okay. Wow. So the real answer is 6, and now that you know the answer, see if you can pick out the 6 Fs.
Yeah,
This is blowing my mind, doctor.
And you'll catch them right away. Which ones did you guys miss?
Okay, 5 of scientific of. Okay, okay.
It would have been.
All right.
It would have been super nice to know before I did this show that I'm dyslexic and this is terrible for me.
It's actually pronounced dyslexia, not dyslexia.
Oh, sorry.
All right,
I'm
so.
dyslexic in my speech.
Hey, this
as well.
isn't a roast, Dr. Joon, okay?
Sorry.
Oh my God.
Jesus, this guy.
Jesus.
Break them down, build them up.
All right, so what the heck was that all about? I mean, here we think that we are smart and we can see things, and yet we can't see things that are right in front of us. You know, there's one group that can see all 6 Fs every time. You know who they are? You know what we call them? Children, kids, yeah. So kids can see all 6 Fs, and the older we get, the fewer Fs we see. Now, this is really depressing, right? I mean, as if aging isn't depressing enough.
Also, the less Fs we give in life.
Yeah. And get, that's for sure.
Right? What?
You got it.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you that that's actually great news. You know why? Because those Fs could represent the future of the world, future of healthcare. It could represent your future, which means exciting opportunities could be ahead for all of us, and all we got to do is just call them out. So maybe the future isn't so hard to see. All we got to do is just elect to see it.
It's like Deepak Chopra here. This is inspiring. So no one got that one right. That was the first question. Then we asked if anyone got it right. It's Eureka moment. So did anyone get 6 Fs?
And be honest.
Yeah, I totally did. I'm super cool.
Before he told you, that's the. Okay, so one of them.
He read it backwards.
I only saw Fs the whole time.
So let's give our first Eureka moment prize out to somebody here. I guess we're right here in the front. You raised your hand the first. So we have
Eureka.
So give her a big round of applause. We've got all these cool prizes. We're going to have our friendly little comedians here pick one they think she deserves. Take a look in the box.
Did I spoil it?
Well, you kind of have now.
For sure that?
Okay, let's do this. All right.
This is a,
It's a
all
bondage
health
mask.
you ever, this, I think this goes here. Are you in a relationship?
He's going to put it
You
on
are?
you.
Oh, perfect. Or if you're not, put it on your head. Don't sniff it.
Yeah, that actually does go on your head. It's like a face exerciser for like your jaw. So it might be in relation to what he...
Wait, does anyone do ecstasy? Do they have TMJ? Do we need... Oh, we might have to... Oh, okay. Never mind.
Maybe there's a secret Santa afterwards you can hook up with.
Yeah. Anyway, you can stare at that strangely for the rest of the night. Give it up for her and her... And
Yes.
all
right.
For her jaw plant or whatever that thing is.
So the of the things we can do to extend the window of time that we can see things. Essentially, our mind switches from a camera to a projector at age 12. So we can see because we're open for 12 years. This is why we can learn languages when we're young. But after 12, you're executing the program that you already have. What are the things we can do to be a camera again? What helps us see? This is not one of the 10 questions. Anybody have any ideas? So, pharmaceutical.
Can I just make a point that guy just got a bigger laugh that we've had since we've been out here?
Are you a scientist? You should come on down.
Or are you just a rad guy?
He's a scientist in his basement, probably.
Yeah, I dabble.
Walter White.
He's been waiting to say that this whole time. Acid!
I came with one bit, it was acid.
All right, so I'll come back to that.
No. We're about to get the answer.
All right, let's move to the next.
Let's go back to that.
All right, we'll come back to that point later.
Okay.
All right.
This is going to be a 10-hour show.
Okay, we got the easy question out of the way, so let's just move on to the harder questions. You guys ready? Okay.
We have doses ready for all.
The second question is. It's not. Okay, there we go. Okay, what 1970s arcade game does our current approach to aging resemble?
Snake.
Pac-Man. Why Pac-Man?
Donkey Kong.
Whack-a-mole. There's your answer.
Oh, this was a fucking trick question! Yeah, you're reading. This is an arcade game?
Yeah.
Where was the trick question premise?
Look at that guy.
Whack-a-mole. So,
let's get a prize first.
All right.
All right, what does Mr. Whack-a-Mole get?
Oh, dude, of course he gets this because I was wrong.
All right. This is the bedpan. He's wearing it like a hat.
He's got it on his head.
It's like, I used that before the show. You may want to take that off.
all right, why whack-a-mole? So the greatest healthcare system ever invented is the one nature gave us. It's called homeostatic capacity. It's what enables us to get to homeostasis on our own. So around 40, your homeostatic capacity starts leaving you. You're now no longer in homeostasis, and they can manifest as diseases. And what the medical system does is we try to put you back together to the tune of $3 trillion a year, but it's basically whack-a-mole. We basically put out one fire at a time. Maybe there's a fire in your 40s, a couple of fires in your 50s, and if you're lucky, more whacks at all the problems, 60s, 70s, and there's a drum roll, and then you die. So the short history of...
You get whacked.
Yeah.
You get whacked.
This dude is the most depressing guy.
At 30 years old, I do a lot of whacking.
You're killing something else, though, like on your bed sheet.
Your self-esteem.
I am...
Right now with whack-a-mole, we're making old people live
Way
a little
too
longer.
old? Way too old?
Way too old.
Yeah. Let's fucking kill these old people.
Extremely
Am I right, guys?
Put
uncomfortably
them in
old.
there, can't we? We can fit their heads in that whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So,
bad.
we are an industry that creates future customers. Does that make sense? So the more we keep people alive, the more healthcare they need. This is a vicious cycle of escalating healthcare costs, which means the system is fatally flawed. How is it flawed? How is it fatally flawed? There's two ways it's fatally flawed.
It's a pro-death talk.
I'm sorry?
Pro-death talk.
Is that what we're leading it? Are we
No,
killing babies or are we killing...
I'm not for death.
Okay, all right. Let him finish. All right,
Sorry,
let the man
sorry,
speak.
it was scary.
This guy's like,
It
"Oh,
just
we-"
turns into a whole different thing. He says, everyone over 60 is fucking dead!
That's the UK system.
Exactly. You didn't give him a round of applause right now. You just fucked up.
All right, so the two ways in which the current system is fatally flawed are the following. Number one, if we keep going on the current trajectory, it's an amazing system, right, the healthcare system. But if we continue on this path, it's eventually going to kill the economy, right? More and more old people, they need more and more healthcare. It's going to become bigger and bigger part of the economic pie, and healthcare is going to just outconsume everything else. So that's a fatal flaw. What's the second fatal flaw of the current system, our current approach to aging? Okay, well, I think that's tied into the fact that we're creating old people. The second fatal flaw is everybody dies. So in this model of approaching aging, there are no survivors, right? So as good as the current system is, I think that this is the riskiest path. We need to do something radically different than what we're doing. Is there a better system? And the framing I would like everybody to use is this thing called an adaptive landscape. Most of you probably haven't heard of it. But if anybody knows the answer to this, they get the next prize. What is an adaptive landscape? It's an evolutionary biology term. Anybody heard of it?
Is this going back to the acid thing again?
It's like, I open up my eyes and see leprechauns. It's adapting.
Well, does anyone know?
Yeah,
let's go
well,
figure out the
Don't
answer.
give it away, Doc.
don't-
Jesus,
yeah,
we
yeah.
got prizes
I saw
here.
only one hand. Okay, somebody back
Does
there.
anybody know what the word adaptive means?
I'm still trying to count the F's.
There's obviously 7.
Let's get. She's got it. She was looking at the whole time. And she was like, "Nah, motherfucker, nah."
Nah, Doc.
That city in Sweden that's for all of the Alzheimer's patients to live, and the whole city is built around people with Alzheimer's.
Filled with skulls.
Yeah, we listen to Invisibilia. We know.
Is any of these close?
That was it, right?
This is the second easiest question. No, actually, this is probably the hardest question. Unless you've heard of it, you won't get this one. So I'm just going to explain it to you. That was exactly wrong, but yes. Right. So here's
Off to that side
savage.
for Alzheimer's.
There's an exact wrong.
It's an exact wrong.
this is science, right? Okay, so think about innovation, evolution as a landscape where a ball can roll. The more innovative is at the bottom. So we're trying to find the valley where you're in an optimum state of evolvedness, fitness, innovation. And the challenge is you can be in one of these valleys as a ball rolling, thinking, okay, I found bottom. I found the ideal solution. I found the ideal healthcare system.
Which is why they make oven timers with your app in San Francisco. That kind of stuff.
Exactly. So you have this purview and your vista such that on all sides it's a hill. So you're like, okay, I must be at the bottom of the valley. But if you've never climbed to the top, you will never see that there is a much better valley over here. And so much in evolution, we end up with these little blind alleys thinking, okay, that's about as good as we're going to get. And it's very hard to de-evolve, to get to a different place, to have enough energy to find a new valley. So it takes a long time and a lot of happenstance for us to go pursue greener pastures elsewhere. So the healthcare system we have seems like it's a pretty good system. And we are innovating incrementally around that, right, digging into the valley. But what if there's a much better healthcare system that we've never seen before?
Right? Repeal Obamacare. Trump. No? Okay.
All right, never mind. We came to the wrong place.
That killed a Modesto.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Dog
209,
in Stockton,
baby.
that
209.
What do you think is going to happen if people live longer? We actually become harder of hearing, we don't listen to each other as much. So as divisive as this current environment is around politics, imagine a society full of old people. I got to tell you, the older we get, the harder it is to listen to each other. I mean, have you guys ever been to a nursing home? There's no dialogue going on in a nursing home, right? It's a mutual monologue. They talk at each other.
That is very accurate. Someone scooting by like, FDR was the best. The other person's like, my cat's name is Mittens. And they're like talking to each other. It's fucking insane.
In fact, I think the word dialogue means two conversations, right?
This guy with this fucking PhD coming at me all night. Dude, what did you not understand about I'm a comic? I dropped out of college. Every time you talk, I just see a picture of a hot dog in front of my face. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
What 1970s toy will our future approach to aging resemble?
Is that
What the
correct?
fuck is that?
No.
Okay, I heard somebody say it.
What is it?
He said the correct turn up there. He said babushkas up there. I think that's...
I have a guess, but I'm going to wait.
Okay, whoever said the right answer, say it a little louder, please. Weebles.
Weeble!
Eureka!
Eureka!
Okay,
every-
oh,
whoops.
sorry. There it is.
Eureka! All right, what does the Weeble smart woman get?
Oh, dude, this, of course.
That, yes! Here it comes.
Bring it up.
That's the end.
Yeah, that's the last one. All right. The doctor kit.
Okay, so for those of you who haven't seen a Weeble wobble, it's like an egg-shaped toy where you push it and it kind of self-centers. Does that sound familiar to you guys? Okay, okay. So think about that as the healthcare system nature gave us. We have this incredible ability to center on our own when we're stressed, when we're pushed. Right? It works very effectively. So let's put a name to that phenomenon. How many people here know the definition of homeostasis? I mean, you know, Mark.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
that's
That's-
what that is.
Isn't that
what
electricity created in
that's
the
what,
castrum?
No, that's what Pauly Shore and what's his face are trying to achieve in the movie Biodome.
Homeo.
Super true.
Okay, so homeostasis is what we learned. We're just going to add one word to that
Keep the light on this
called
guy.
homeostatic capacity. So homeostatic capacity describes your ability to get to homeostasis. So when I think about what am I losing in the middle of my life, I'm losing homeostatic capacity. So let me describe to you what it feels like to be me right now. I had high homeostatic capacity, I felt nothing, and all of a sudden I'm starting to feel something. Now, when I go on a roller coaster, I come out of it and my body doesn't self-center, so I get nauseous. So I basically stop riding. Whereas,
it's
yes.
nauseated. You get nauseated.
I get
you
nauseated.
collected him on dyslexia, so I want to correct you. Actually,
My boy got my
I
back.
got your back,
I
bro.
don't know if you
Let me. You get. It's when you say I get.
Let's, okay.
I get.
Yeah. Just stop while you're
You said I
ahead.
get nauseous, right? When
meant
yeah, you
nauseated.
meant nauseated. When you get when you say I'm nauseous, that means you're making everybody around you sick. But when you say I'm nauseated, it means you're sick. So.
Mr. PhD right here.
Fucking.
Oh,
Just walk
I
off.
dropped
Walk
it.
And there are other great examples like
What
hangovers.
else? Hangovers. So all the things
get
that
back to it.
I didn't used to feel, I can't do anymore. I can't go to Tahoe without feeling the altitude. I can't go diving without feeling the pressure. Same thing with recovering from anything. Recovering from injury is much harder. Recovering from a late night. I mean, I used to be able to stay up all night when I was in college and feel fine the next day. Now, I mean, I went to a Lady Gaga concert on a Tuesday.
Of course you did.
I was still tired on
the brakes.
Saturday.
I thought I saw you there. Oh my God.
I didn't know you were a party monster. I was there.
So what's happening? What I'm losing is homeostatic capacity. I cannot center my Weeble anymore. These are all the things we can feel. But now imagine all the things we can't feel, such as your blood pressure or your sugars. When we are young and our blood pressure goes high and our sugar goes high, our Weeble returns at the center. A homeostatic capacity restores normal numbers. Now, in some of us, after 40, those things go high and they stay high, and we give it strange Latin names like hypertension or diabetes. Is it possible that these things aren't unrelated conditions? What if they're all just one disease of lost homeostatic capacity?
And I'm waiting for this to be connected to seagulls.
Yes.
I'm assuming a seagull's gonna
Yeah, he's trying to get back to homeostasis. Same thing with your heart rate.
nailed
That's
it.
such a. He's trying to get back to homeostasis. That's why we put a
Put a seagull there.
seagull there.
Obviously.
Balanced.
Which fucking scientist made this PowerPoint presentation?
Was it you?
Are there more
Oh,
slides, or is it
come
the next
on,
question?
I
Is
said
it the next
old
question, the
people
next
should
slide?
die, right?
The next question. Well, I do want to make the important point that in order to truly understand our physiology, we need to add the fourth dimension to all of our biomarkers. Like your heart rate is stable your whole life, but your heart rate response to exercise is what declines with age. We've known that for decades, and yet we don't use it in all of us. So now it's time to introduce the fourth dimension to healthcare, time.
Acid.
You beat me to the punch.
You got it,
Great
buddy.
callback.
So would that mean then how long it would take my body to come back to equilibrium?
How robustly your body comes back to equilibrium is going to be the future of medical diagnostics. This hasn't happened yet. This is all upside. And once we come up with measurement tools to measure your system dynamics, we're going to now come up with therapies that increase your system dynamics. Let me give you one example of what this looks like. What's the best way to actually treat high blood pressure? What does your doctor tell you to do? Diet's one thing, exercise. And in exercise, you're raising your blood pressure, and lo and behold, your body lowers your blood pressure. Your homeostatic capacity is actually the therapy, right? So the question is the best way to treat high blood pressure put exercise in a bottle? What if we gave people blood pressure raising medicines as a way to treat their high blood pressure?
We
Would
have
that
that.
actually
It's
work?
called cocaine. And I'm not saying I take that medicine.
There's many different lessons to be learned from tonight's lecture.
Okay. That's an example of how we have not tested that out. So there's so much we haven't tried in medicine. But the main thing is, instead of thinking about the therapy as a solution, let's think about the body as a solution. Homeostatic capacity as a way to improve your health rather than homeostasis as a way to improve your
All right.
health.
So
Okay.
Callback of the call. I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay, so what is the best way to increase our homeostatic capacity?
Young
Okay,
people's blood.
they're all correct so far. Well,
Take high blood pressure medicine.
but they're all partially correct. I'm going to explain to you why they're all partially correct.
Exercising while sleeping.
That's actually the right
This
answer.
guy
Yeah,
is holy
Okay,
shit.
because the answer is to do both, to stretch your dynamic range. So exercise alternating with sleep is the metaphor that we want to encourage.
Let's give it for the snarky answer. Eureka moment, huh?
Eureka.
All right.
Eureka.
What does our clever audience
Yeah,
member
it's
get?
like, well, this is the guy that said we should kill all young people. So can I give him a little penis? Is
Oh
that-
yeah, see this thing? And then look, it says press me. You want to press it, Drew? Or
I'll press
Mark's?
it.
Okay, here we go.
It's- Oh, it's a farting penis.
Farting, it doesn't
right.
get much cleverer than that,
This
you know what I'm
is the
saying?
gas relief pill. It's health related.
It's health related. Yeah, you can.
I'm really afraid of giving it to
Walking too
this
much.
guy, though. To be honest, he's.
I've been wanting that dick all night.
Oh, God. We just gave him a farting dick. All right.
Nothing says science like a farting dick.
Yeah. Hope you're riding the bus back home tonight. Just use that thing.
Right. So exercise is good, but you got to rest in between. Interval training is much better than running a marathon.
How do we
right?
get the NBDL picture right there? What league is
Joon
that
was
from?
on that team.
This is actually, I think I'm down there.
Is that? Oh, that's you?
Holy shit, give it up for a baller right now.
First of all, dude.
Whoa!
Fuck that.
He
I don't
sinks
like that,
backs
dude.
and fucking baskets.
No, dude, you're gonna have Shutterstock photos this whole time, and then he's gonna throw in a picture. Champion basketball player.
It's just me and Seth Marino. He's just a guy.
I know you forgot it on my resume.
I like basketball because it's stop and go. And that's the message here. It's not exercise per se, but it's the variance. So stretch your muscles,
You want to dab in public.
ride more roller coasters, even if
Monks.
it's hard. These are
Riding a
monks.
roller
Yeah.
Shave your
Ride
head.
roller coasters. So don't just meditate. Don't just meditate as monks. Meditate, but alternate it with scaring yourself.
Yeah,
Chronic
that's
stress
cool.
is what kills you, right?
So you're saying stretch?
Buy a dead cat. Keep it by your pillow at night.
What the fuck? This is horrific.
Never
Kill
forget.
a cat once a day.
Take its life energy.
It's like, you just get above it like Mortal Kombat and suck up.
Steal its homeostasis.
Suck its breath out.
You are a monster, sir. I looked
Yeah.
up to you before this.
Is this from your personal vault, doctor? Oh, fucking. Give him a
Kill him.
farting dick, all right?
We got another one in.
I'm going to come back to this, but
tonight.
have you guys heard of secondhand smoke? Okay, so now it's time to learn about secondhand stress. Secondhand stress.
I'll tell you, my girlfriend, she is gonna give me cancer.
That's exactly right. You know why?
It is?
We don't have health care, so we're literally asking you everything tonight.
You gotta break up with
That-
your girlfriend.
You have a tumor named Tiffany in your chest right
Yeah,
now.
Jesus Christ, and you're cut off. Look, 7 texts from me. All right. Oh, I gotta take these.
So what I meant is, stress is totally contagious, and the reason for that is actually Darwinian. In the wild, if you're a wildebeest, and the wildebeest next to you is freaking out, and you don't freak out with it, you're the one that's gonna get eaten, right? So we're all hardwired to make the stress of others our own. which made sense when we had a high chance of getting eaten. But in the modern world, we have almost no chance of getting eaten. And yet we're still executing that response of if somebody's stressed, I'm going to get stressed. Like if a coworker is getting stressed, I'm going to get stressed. Somebody mentioned diet as the thing that can help you with health. What I wonder about diet is maybe we should actually, instead of avoiding the junk foods, we should actually eat junk food once in a while. So this is
junk food.
This guy right here. This is a science I'll listen to. This is a science this gut can get behind.
Whoops. Well, this is another thing, another way to increase your dynamic range. I just couldn't find any pictures of it on the internet, so there you have it. The next one is laughing. Laughing is another thing that increases your cardiovascular dynamic range.
Keep coming to this show.
Exactly.
Okay, next question.
Wait, did we just skip over sex? What happened?
We always skip over
Well,
sex.
you saw
There's
sex
always
and a
life
woman
in that.
laughing, so you
You
felt too
say
real.
no
to
one
you.
skipped over sex in your life?
I just thought boobs were coming on the screen.
You can pull out your
Or
phone. We won't
dicks,
look.
whatever you're into. I still think my girlfriend's giving me cancer. All right.
Kill it. Tiffany's killing
Great
it.
callback.
Nice.
All right, so next question is aging encoded in our genes. And so now if you think about is aging encoded or not encoded? We can't prove it. The answer is I don't know. But we just decided, let's just assume it's a code and look for the code because there's nobody doing that. That right now, increasing lifespan seems to be associated with declining birth rates. Can anybody take a wild guess why? And we'll give the prize to the best answer.
I haven't answered yet.
I actually would like to put in an objection about the question itself. I don't really think the declining birth rate is directly related with the lifespan. It's more associated with urbanization and the culture being more, the technological advance. Because as far as my understanding, as the society moves on from agriculture to urbanization, having kids has become from more workforce. Because when you're farming, having more kids means that you have more input in terms of how much people can work, versus as urbanization, having kids has become more of a cost. So that's why we're seeing all the decline in the birth rate in all the Asian countries and all the advanced countries, including Korea, that having kids has become such of a huge investment.
She just stole your answer, Mark.
And
So-
maybe urbanization is related with the
And that's,
increasing
I
lifespan.
agree with your objection, and that's why I use the word associated and not caused. So the relationship is there, but we don't know. It could be.
No, hey, fuck you. You guys didn't say anything. This woman just made valid points.
Nah, dude. You know what?
I'm not going to let her get booed.
That
She
was
just
a
said
subtle diss right
that
there.
was
I
the
like that.
smartest thing I've ever heard. I have literally said nothing that smart in my life. A round of applause for that woman. And now let's have a gentlemanly discord about this. Let's go.
That was great. And since you made up an answer, I'm going to make up an answer too. Right? We can all speculate
fucking guy.
why is this happening, right? Because all we know is associates. I'm gonna make up my own reason as one of the 20 different reasons that I think are all probably correct. So remember, average lifespan was 22, which meant, and you became an adult at 13. That's when you hit puberty. 13 is the age of, back then it was consenting adults. Juliet was 13 when she hooked up with Romeo. We don't know how old Romeo was. But the idea of being young for 13, hooking up at age 13, having kids, raising them for about 9 years and dying at 22 was the average template. So when you got married and you said till death do us apart, it was not an unreasonable thing to say because even if you made a horrible mistake, it's only 9 years of hell. But now, when your average lifespan is 100 and you're 13 years old, do you really want to say, till death do us apart, I'm willing to be with you for the next 87 years? No, most people are like, I'm not really sure, right? I'm going to do more due diligence. So most people just stick around. They keep dating, 20s, 30s, 40s, and then maybe you find somebody and you have time for one kid. Yeah. So the fact that we're increasing lifespan has completely changed our mental model because the stakes are much higher.
So, Doctor, what you're saying is hit it and quit it.
Yeah.
To boil everything you just said down.
Just swipe
Hit it
left.
and quit it because
Swipe
you got
left.
a lot of shit to do.
Where's the slide image for that?
Exactly.
All right, we're running out of time. That's your big head. We got 2 more questions left.
Okay, time. I think this might be actually the last question. Sorry, I only have one more.
Is this the last one?
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay. This is the hardest question. Should comedians teach medical school?
All right.
Yeah, we would kill
Thanks.
it.
Thanks. I know it's hot in here, but if you have any questions you want to ask the doctor, raise your hand right now.
All right, I'm going after this guy.
Let's have you ask.
And you guys should feel free to answer as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought he was referring to me as the doctor.
Yeah, I was talking to Mark as the
Doctor
doctor.
Cool.
Well, if we
Doctor.
extend, our lifespan, we're also going to have, I think, first of all, does everybody want to live that long? I mean, to think of that question, because at some point, I think I would get bored. And also, we're going to have to think of the question of euthanasia, because, and allowing it, because, there comes a point where you've done it all. You don't.
Okay, so the longevity
I'm already
movement.
there.
Longevity movement is an option.
myself.
We're not going to force it on people. So this movement is the first thing that's both pro-life and pro-choice. You don't have to take it, right? The second thing is this idea of boredom. So like living 1,000 years sounds really tedious, right? I was tying my younger son's shoes, and he said, "Hey, Dad, 1,000 is a really small number. It's only 2050s." Okay, so I was kind of processing that.
Are
Stopped
both your
tying his
kids
shoes.
doctors? Both your kids.
Mathematicians.
Hey, Dad.
Brilliant.
Hey, Dad. I have a brilliant question for you.
They're just F counters, right? They're just calling out the Fs.
they're
Tying
both-
his shoes and he just sees infinity.
Yeah, it's just little junior Matt Damon's filling all the
Little Doogie Howser.
things.
Little beautiful minds.
We're getting off track. So we're talking earlier about the fact that I come from a village that's been together 1,000 years. So I used to always hear stories about things that happened 1,000 years ago. And when I was young, 1,000 years feels like infinity. So I felt no connection to the people from 1,000 years. Well, now I've been alive, I'm almost 50 years, right? And I can tell you, 50 years went by in a blink. So that means 1,000 years is only 20 blinks. It's not that long. And once I realized that, I felt a huge connection to people from 1,000 years ago. I feel connection to people 1,000 years from now. We're all contemporaries. If you think about the beginning of civilization, it's only 200 blinks. It's not that long ago. And it makes you totally realize that this is just a moment in time, and 1,000 years is going to go by so fast. I don't think we're going to get bored.
What if you're like 200 and you haven't done shit with your life? What happens then?
200 delivered
Super
ads.
depressed? Yeah.
Well, there's always comedy at that point.
Fucking killed me. Dr. Joon, yawn everybody.
That's it for us.
That's it. I think we're good.
How is this guy not getting booked?
I don't know. I think that is it, guys. If you want to ask more questions, hang out after the show.
I'll
Is that
stick around.
cool?
Yes.
Absolutely. So you can mingle, ask questions, meet each other. Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
Dog. Appreciate it, dog. Appreciate it.
Mark Smalls, Drew Platt.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Dr. Joon Young, everybody. Another big round of applause. It's amazing. You guys.
Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you.
Coming out.
Give a big round of applause.